Hey everyone, welcome back to Spycobra Gaming. My name is Rob. Alright, while it's still fresh in my mind, we're going to be talking about the Halo Infinite campaign and some of the multiplayer. I'm going to give you my thoughts, especially now that it's still fresh on my mind. Warning, this will contain some spoilers, so please be prepared. Alright, without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, Halo story. Let's get it out of the way now. Many reviews have said that Halo Infinite story is lacking, and I will agree. But in my opinion, it wasn't the worst story by any means. I actually enjoyed it very much. I believe it had something to do with the fact that I played it on Legendary, and it had me invested in Master Chief's interaction with the weapon, aka the new Cortana AI. Without sounding long-winded, the story begins with Master Chief waking up about 18 months after the events of Halo 5. In a flashback, you can see Master Chief lose the battle with Atriox and the leader of the Banished, basically the bad guys that you're going to be fighting for the rest of the game. The Banished are a group of grunts, jackals, and elite, and brutes. They have rebelled from the Covenant. All our favorite enemies we have known throughout many Halo games appear in this Halo. UNSC and the Banished have been fighting the Zeta Halo for about 6 months prior to a soldier finding Master Chief and waking him from life support. During your battles on Zeta Halo, during the rest of the game, you're uncovering what happened to Cortana and what she's been up to. Without spoiling too much, the interaction between the weapon and Master Chief was, in my opinion, really well done. You can really feel the tension between Master Chief and the weapon. The weapon is built to help Master Chief, and she's also trying to learn what it is that drives our favorite super soldier. The weapon is also showing signs that she is trying to understand Master Chief from an almost human point of view. The relationship almost feels loving and caring by the end of the game. The last thing I want to say is that the story does not do a great job of explaining what the future may hold. Audio logs give you those parts, but you have to search for them in this massive map of Zeta Halo. So you might miss some of the juicier parts. All I want to say is that it looks like another game is certainly on the horizon, and rumors are the Flood might be making a return in some capacity. Here we go, overall gameplay. This is where Halo Infinite shines the most. Some old and new weapons and mechanics are introduced. You will have your pistol and battle rifle, but you will always be treated to some new weapons. I believe the best addition to Halo, and a lot of previous reviews agree, the grapple hook is one of the best new mechanics in any Halo in a long time. Grappling up a huge mountain and taking out some annoying snipers is a treat. The grapple hook provides just enough tactical advantage that you will 100% need, especially at legendary difficulty. The huge map of Zeta Halo has a lot for you to do and explore. Taking out the FOBs, or forward operating bases, controlled by the Banished will give you access to weapons and vehicles. I found myself using these a lot during my playthrough. Picking up UNSC Marines was always needed at legendary difficulty. You will also need to find those audio logs and Spartan cores. The Spartan cores will upgrade anything from the grapple hook to the threat sensors and anything else you may like to use during combat. You will also run into what I call mini bosses during the main story and just scattered around the Halo ring. Killing these targets of interest will give you valor or to purchase and call on weapons and vehicles at the FOBs you have acquired during your playthrough. Also, killing these targets will give you a different weapon variant. Usually these weapons will be white in color, so stay on the lookout for those. One other thing I found very fun is that you will collect multiplayer armor scattered around Zeta Halo, so it is up to you how much exploring you might want to do. Now, the best part the most annoying part for the game, depending on how you see it, is the enemies. They are smart, they move around, and they will try and flank you. At any given time, you will get flanked. The snipers have basically aimbot. On Legendary, you will die a lot, and I mean a lot. When you take out mini bosses or just a regular elite and finally kill them, it is very satisfying. Like I mentioned before, the struggle of the game really made the relationship with the weapon and Master Chief feel rewarding. So yes, the overall gameplay is just simply fun. 343 have knocked it out of the park this go around. Alright, graphics. Okay, here we go. Now, Halo in general has always looked great. Colors are bright. Visually, it was always appealed to many gamers. This new engine 343 developed, in my opinion, is great. Not photorealistic, but very detailed and fits Halo Infinite's style perfectly. 343 Studios have named the new engine the Slipspace engine. Now, CE for short is once again very colorful, and the vistas provided in the game are gorgeous. The outdoor areas and the indoor, more mechanical looking areas all look great and very realistic. My only gripe with the visuals is that Zeta Halo has basically only these two types of areas: forest and mountains, outdoors, and these spaceship looking metallic indoor areas. But in short, the level of detail is pretty fantastic, so I will give them a pass. I spent my time playing on both the Series X and a higher end PC. At 4K and 1440p, I could not be happier. I enjoyed my time living in the world 343 created. I don't think anyone will be disappointed on the way Halo Infinite was presented during this go around. Lastly, the wildlife from space chickens to space hedgehogs was a nice touch. Good job, 343.
Alright guys, so now we have the sound. Headphone check, let me warn you, it might get a little loud. I want to talk to you about gun sounds, ambient noises, and of course the music. But without further ado, just check it out and listen for yourself. Let's do it.
I thought that I could do this on my own. But I forgot that the whole point of all of this, the entire reason that I chose you in the first place, was that we were supposed to be a team. Perfectly suited, perfectly matched, perfect.
I can't believe we survived that. How we doing?
That's a negative on hostiles. That stinks.
Alright, multiplayer's up next. The secret is out and the gameplay for the multiplayer is fantastic and a real return to form for the franchise. It's safe to say Halo is back on top of its game. My only concern here is that 343 needs to focus on dropping more content soon. Maps are pretty good so far, but without a forge and more multiplayer maps, I can see where this could get old. Not to mention co-op for the campaign was a no-show and will be out sometimes mid-2022. So Bungie, get on that. I would also like to say this is a great start to the return of one of the greatest multiplayer experiences of all time. Don't lose the momentum, 343. Alright, my closing thoughts overall on the review. Once again, 343 have finally pulled off what many hardcore Halo fans thought could not be done. They have created a great world, story, and just pure fun gameplay. With the TV series out this March and the hype for Halo back in full force, 343 Studios needs to keep up the work and make sure we get more great Halo and support the game with single player and multiplayer content ASAP. Overall, we have Halo back on top of the first person shooter genre and I could not be happier. As a fan for 20 years, I can't wait to see what's next for 343 Studios and their newfound understanding of what the new and old Halo fans want from their favorite super soldier. Well, there you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this review. This is the first time I do a review kind of like this, a little bit more full-fledged, but I enjoyed it. It's a lot of hard work, and just subscribe and do all that YouTube stuff. All right, guys. Spycobra out.